Among the industries still struggling, well, obviously many industries have been struggling, but restaurants hit particularly hard with the restrictions on public gatherings and where we can dine. And it's been an interesting time when people take the entrepreneurial spirit, try to figure out what is next for them. David Segal, you may know him as the founder of DAVIDsTEA. Actually, he's the founder now of what I'm being told is the salad joint, described as a salad joint, Mad Radish, expanding the business to a family of fast food brands. All right, let's try to figure out what the play is here, and David is joining us. This is an interesting move during a pandemic, but I've heard it from other entrepreneurs like you. You got to find ways to adapt.
Yeah, you do, and thanks for having me, Greg. The restaurant industry is broken in many ways, and it was a long time coming. The bigger impact on the industry long term is going to be the shift to delivery and the costs that are associated with that shift. And restaurants are looking at different ways to offset it. A lot of them are going after what's called ghost kitchens, which are professional kitchens that are hidden from view. They're cheaper real estate. So they're using the real estate line to offset this additional cost of delivery. We think the problem with that is the word ghost. We think people are still going to want places that they can see, they can walk into, they can see the food, the cleanliness, feel the environment, have the people smile at them. We think the same customer that orders delivery is the same customer who on another occasion wants to order from the Mad Radish app for contactless pickup or delivery as well.
Well, that's interesting. So you still sort of believe in the power of the storefront, even if it's not a traditional restaurant where there was a huge amount of real estate given over to tables, the ambiance of dining in. You still think that's important. We just don't want the ghost kitchen. It just conjures up notions of me of some industrial area where there's just a bunch of kitchen units and food just shooting at the warehouse doors to my house on a constant basis.
Well, I mean, I think people are still going to want some human contact when this is over. I mean, I don't know about you, but I wish we were in person right now. This works, but it doesn't mean it's always what I'm going to want. What the pandemic has taught us is that we don't necessarily have to go out and do things out of necessity anymore. We can do them only because we want to. So I think it's going to depend on your mood and your life in that moment. Sometimes you're going to want to walk in to a restaurant, order during a quick break, read a book in the window or at a table. Other times you're going to want to order delivery from your home. Other times you're going to want to zip in on your way back from a meeting or work and grab your lunch and go. And we want to be able to address all three of those instances. Really, it's much more about the food quality for us. We're all about gourmet fast food. And what we've done is we've added brands into our stores. We've taken the food philosophy from Mad Radish, which was we're all about big flavors, hearty bowls, salads, sandwiches, food that's good for you, but tastes really good as well, and really simple, high quality ingredients. And we applied it to create two new brands that will operate out of the same space. So we have Luisa's Burritos and Bowls, and we have Revival Pizza. And these brands have just launched. Luisa's is authentic South American ingredients. Revival Pizza is Neapolitan pizza with a modern twist. And all of our brands will be made to order, but built to travel. And I think that's the key.
Now, David, what has become controversial and an issue really brought to the fore, even by the Premier of the province of Ontario, are delivery services. I mean, obviously there's been some businesses that have been in the delivery game for a very long time. You think about ordering your pizza, they seem to have it figured out, but other restaurants weren't there. And then Uber Eats skipped the dishes. There starts to be concerns about how much of a take they're taking away from the restaurateur. How have you sort of encountered that problem and worked around it?
It's a big problem, and most restaurants are not equipped to handle it. We're looking at how we can serve our customers better. We think that something that's not going to go away is the demand for gourmet fast food. People are still going to be on the go. They're still going to want food that they can get quickly, but they don't want to compromise on quality. And that's where our focus is, and that's our market. And so when we were done, when the pandemic hit, everybody started licking their wounds and worrying about the future. But when we were done doing that, we got to innovating, we got to creating, and we thought about how can we extend our value proposition to create more value for our customers. And that's why we added these two other brands, Luisa's Burritos and Bowls and Revival Pizza, in addition to Mad Radish. So we want to increase our sales volumes to help offset some of those costs. So we're going to do more volume out of the same unit. And we want the same customer. You can walk in with 3 people. One of you can get a delicious burrito from Luisa's. One of you can get an amazing warm bowl from Mad Radish. And another one of you can get an amazing pizza from Revival Pizza, all in the same order, either for takeout, delivery, or in restaurant. And we think this is going to allow us to serve more customers and offset some of those costs.
When we think about the experience of dining in, and obviously this is not easy right now, but I've talked to other restaurant owners who have gone to great lengths, putting up plexiglass between tables. Of course, you need to space them out. Obviously, that challenges the business in terms of how many people you can put in the room. Is it a challenge, though, too, to create an atmosphere that people want to go into if you have to put those kind of divisions and safety measures in place? It's sort of a reminder of what we're living through.
It's very much a challenge, and I don't think right now a lot of people do want to go in and sit down. I don't think we're there yet, but you have to take the long view of this. The question is that gone forever? I don't believe it is. I think that delivery is here to stay, and it's going to become a much bigger part of the business, and restaurants need to retool to meet that new challenge. But to think that as humans we're all going to just live on our screens and not be out there in the world forever. I mean, I think what the pandemic is showing us is that we miss people. I mean, at least many of us do. And I believe that it's really just going to become a much greater multi-channel game where more people are comfortable with digital, more people are comfortable ordering either through a company's app. Like we have our Mad Radish app, you can order in advance, go in, pick it up, your name's on it, you don't even need to talk to anybody, or on the delivery apps as well. I think that's going to grow.
David, I'd be curious to get your thoughts on what the government has presented to industry so far in terms of aid. And we know the approach has been broad-based from the federal government in terms of here are wage supports, here are other programs you can avail themselves of. Not so much about targeted support. As we get to this stage of the pandemic, is it now the stage to say, okay, these industries bounce back, online shopping, clearly we don't need to help them, but restaurants, and we were talking about airlines earlier, the kind of ones where we know the struggle will continue for quite some time.
Yeah, they do need the help or they're not going to be there, many of them. And, I'm obviously very supportive of the subsidies for the restaurant industry and for really the experiential economy. This is the ultimate black swan event. And we need support. The industry needs support right now to get through this to the other side. I'm hoping that when they extend the rent subsidies, they're going to put it in the hands of the tenants and not the landlords, because it creates tension between landlords and tenants to have to negotiate that. It'd be nice if it was a little less complicated, but overall, I mean, the support has been there, and thankfully it's been there. Otherwise, you would be seeing a much bigger fallout from this. The longer this goes on, the more risk of that there is.
All right, David, thanks for taking the time this morning to chat with us.
Thanks for having me, Greg. Pleasure to be here.
David Segal is the founder of Mad Radish and also founder of DAVIDsTEA.